بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد المصطفى وعلى آله ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وما بعد الدرس الأول The first lesson or lesson 1 الدرس الدرس That means the lesson. Al-awwalu. Al-awwalu. The first. Combined we say ad-darsul awwalu. And we do not pronounce this hamza here, hamzatul wasl. That is really a hamza that is written on an alif. The alif is just a seat for the hamzatul wasl, and you're supposed to write the head of a sod on that to indicate that it's hamzatul wasl, meaning it's not pronounced unless you begin with it, but no one tends to write it. In some of the masahif, like al-mushaf al-madani, the mushaf that is printed in al-Madinah, they would put the head of that sod on this alif to indicate that it is really hamzatul wasl. That being said, you do not pronounce it when you join. You say ad-darsul, and you join the sin with the dhamma to the lam with sukoon. Ad-darsul awwalu. The first lesson. Note, even though that is not our lesson, that is not the lesson for today, that the adjective in English precedes the noun that it describes. So first is an adjective and it describes lesson. It's telling you that this is the first lesson. In the Arabic language, the noun is mentioned first, ad-darsu, and then the adjective is mentioned after. And there is more to nouns and adjectives, but this is not the place for that. Ad-darsul awwalu, the first lesson or lesson 1. Hadha. هذا, this. هذا, it's what is called اسم الإشارة للقريب. It's the demonstrative pronoun for something that is near, this. So if you wanted to point to something, to indicate something, and that thing is near, you use the demonstrative pronoun هذا, this. So here in this page we have quite a few examples of objects and ismul ishara هذا, indicating them, or the demonstrative pronoun this, pointing towards them. We start with هذا بيت. هذا بيت. This is a house. The word baytun means house, with the tanween at the ending, the tanween dhamma, tun. In the Arabic language, when you speak, you always stop with a sukoon. So if you're speaking in classical Arabic language, you would say هذا bayt. And the last letter, which happens to be the ta here, you will imagine there is a sukoon on it, and you say bayt. However, for the sake of learning, so that you learn the vowels, what they are, and then when you are confident in your knowledge of what the vowels are, you can learn to stop with a sukoon. So in this book, we would always mention all vowels until in more advanced lessons, we will stop with sukoon, inshallah. هذا بيت. This is a house. Now this is the simplest structure in forming an Arabic sentence. We have what is called al-mubtada'u, the subject, that is هذا, and baytun, which is the predicate. It is called al-khabaru in the Arabic language. And we translate that as this is a house. But literally this means this, هذا means this, and baytun means house. So technically it means this house, this house. But of course, in the English language, we need to have a verb to complete the sentence. In the Arabic language, you do not. All you need is al-mubtada'u, the thing that you begin with, which we can call the subject, and baytun, which is the predicate, the khabar, some information, literally information about that thing. So this structure here, هذا baytun, is what we call al-jumlatul ismiyya, the nominal sentence. And you will learn the various kinds of sentences later, inshallah. I just wanted to highlight that this is indeed a complete sentence. هذا baytun. And we translate it as this is a house, and the word is does not exist in the Arabic language. It is understood. هذا مسجد. هذا مسجد. هذا مسجد. This is a masjid. هذا باب. هذا باب. This is a door. هذا كتاب. هذا كتاب. This is a book. هذا قلم. هذا قلم. قلم. هذا قلم. This is a pen. هذا مفتاح. هذا مفتاح. This is a key. هذا مكتب. هذا مكتب. This is a desk. هذا سرير. هذا سرير. 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 This is a bed. Please note that in contemporary Arabic language, in everyday language, we use the word sarir to mean bed, but the word sarir, which is used in its plural form, surur, surur, is used in Quran to mean a couch. It's not something that you lie down on horizontally to sleep. Rather, it's something that you recline on just to rest. على سرر متقابلين, that they are on couches reclining facing each other. That's in the Quran. That's an ayah or part of an ayah from the Quran. هذا كرسي. هذا كرسي. This is a chair. Of course, the word kursi is used in the Quran to mean the footstool for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and some people translate it as throne, but there's difference of opinion amongst the scholars concerning that. So that's the way you make the simplest sentence using ismul ishara, or the demonstrative pronoun, هذا, this, and then point to something and say, this is such and such a house or a door or a masjid, and so on. If you want to ask a question, you put the word ma. You put the word ma. And you say, ma, what? Hada, this. What is this? Ma hada, what is this? And you ask the question, and the person would respond, looking at the picture here, hada baytun. هذا بيت. This is a house. And to ask an additional question, you say to the person, أهذا بيت? أهذا بيت? Is this a house? Is this a house? So is used to convert a sentence into a question. So we have هذا بيت means this is a house. If you were to say هذا بيت, the part that I highlighted there, that means this is a house. If you wanted to take the sentence this is a house and make it a question, we would say is this a house? Like that in Arabic we say we put the أداة الاستفهام in front to ask a question or to convert the sentence into a question. أهذا بيت? Is this a house? And of course, this being a house here, the correct answer would be نعم, yes. هذا بيت. This is a house. Yes, this is a house. ما هذا? What is this? Pointing to this picture here. هذا قميص. هذا قميص. This is a shirt. Pointing to the chair, you ask the question, أهذا سرير? Is this a bed? And of course, the correct answer is لا, هذا كرسي. No, this is a chair. So whereas نعم means yes, نعم, لا means no. لا, هذا كرسي. Pointing to the pen, you ask the question, أهذا مفتاح? أهذا مفتاح? Is this a key? And the correct answer, of course, would be لا, no. هذا قلم. This is a pen. ما هذا? Pointing to this picture of a star. What is this? And the correct answer is هذا نجم. هذا نجم. This is a star. And there is a surah called Suratul Najmi. There's also a surah called Suratul Qalami. There is an ayah called Ayatul Kursi. Now we come to exercises. This you should do. And this word here is ta, and that's a meme. Because of the font, the meme is kind of swerved back under the ta, but that's a meme. Imagine a meme there. Ta, meme, ra, ya, noon. The ta has a fatha ta. The meme has a sukun, tam. The ra has a kasra, ri. The ya has a sukun, ri. And the noon has tanween, dhamma, nun. Tamreenun, or tamreen, exercise. Tamreen, wahid, or one, or al-awwalu. At-tamreenul awwalu, exercise 1, or the first exercise. So you're being asked, ما هذا? لو أشرت إلى هذا, هذه الصورة, if I point to this picture, وسألتك, and I ask you, and if it's a girl, سألتك, I ask you, ما هذا? What is this? ماذا تقول? What would you say? Or ماذا تقولين if you're a girl? What would you say? You would say هذا مفتاح. هذا مفتاح. This is a key. If I point to the picture here and I ask, ما هذا? What is this? Of course, the correct response would be هذا كتاب. This is a book. If I point to this picture here and I say ما هذا? What is this? The correct response would be هذا قلم. This is a pen. If I were to point to this picture here and I say ما هذا? What is this? The correct response would be هذا كتاب. This is a book. If I point to this picture here and say ما هذا? What is this? Of course, the correct answer would be هذا بيت. ما هذا؟ هذا كرسي. تمرين الثاني أو التمرين الثاني, the second exercise. أهذا بيت؟ أهذا بيت? Your answer, if I were to ask you, pointing at this picture here, أهذا بيت? الجواب الصحيح أن تقول, the correct answer would be for you to say لا, هذا مسجد. No, this is a masjid. If I ask you أهذا مفتاح? Is this a key? The correct response would be لا, هذا قلم. If I were to ask you أهذا قميص? Is this a shirt? The correct response would be نعم. Yes, هذا قميص. This is a shirt. If I were to ask you أهذا نجم? Is this a star? Of course, the correct response would be نعم, هذا نجم. التمرين الثالث, exercise 3. اقرأ واكتب. This is an instruction. And the correct thing would be not to write in this kasra there. This kasra should not be written in. That's an oversight there. Because this hamza is hamzatul wasl. Like I explained before, it looks like an alif. It's really the seat for the head of a sad, which indicates that it's hamzatul wasl. It's only pronounced when you begin with it. Hence, you do not write in the vowel. Iqra means read. Waktub, wa means and. Uktub means write. But when you join, remember you do not pronounce this hamza, so we say Iqra waktub, read and write. So this is an instruction that would be repeated a lot in this book, so you can learn that right now. Iqra waktub, read and write. And by the way, this was the first word of the Quran. Iqra, the first ayah, the first word of the first ayah of the first surah that came down to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam after Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord who created. Iqra, so read and write this. I will just read it quickly. هذا مكتب, هذا مسجد, هذا قلم, هذا سرير, ما هذا, هذا كرسي, أهذا بيت, لا, هذا مسجد, ما هذا, هذا مفتاح. مفتاح. من هذا? Who is this? من هذا? Who is this? Man means who. And if we were pointing to this picture here, من هذا, the answer would be هذا طبيب. طبيب. This is a doctor. من هذا? Who is this? Pointing to this picture here. The response is هذا ولد. This is a child. Now I translated the word waladun as child instead of boy. In contemporary Arabic, we use the word walad to mean boy. But really the word walad means child. كل مولود فهو ولد. Everyone who has been born is walad, meaning a child. So walad can be masculine or feminine. هذا ولد. This is a child. من هذا? Pointing to this picture. Who is this? هذا طالب. This is a student. هذا طالب. This is a student. Pointing to this one here. أهذا ولد. أهذا ولد. Is this a child? And the correct response would be لا. هذا رجل. هذا رجل. No, this is a man. ما هذا? Pointing to this picture. What is this? هذا مسجد. من هذا? Who is this? هذا تاجر. This is a merchant. This is a merchant or businessman. هذا كلب. This is a dog. Pointing to this picture. أهذا كلب. Is this a dog? The correct response is لا. هذا قط. And there should be a shadda on that ta there. قط. Qaf with kasra qi. Join the ta. قط. And then repeat the ta because it has a shadda. Tun. قط. هذا قط. And it sounds like the word kitten came from the word قط. Who knows? Potentially it's true. This is a cat. هذا حمار. This is a donkey. حمار. Pointing to this picture. أهذا حمار. Is this a donkey? أهذا حمار. Is this a donkey? And the correct response would be لا. هذا حصان. No, this is a horse. وما هذا? What means and, so you're combining the questions. And what is this? هذا جمل. This is a camel. Jamal, camel. Sounds as if the English word camel came from Jamal also. By the way, the word Jamal comes from the word Jamil, which means to be beautiful. And Jamal, the camel, is called beautiful, or named after the word beautiful, because the Arabs love the camel. They see it as being very beautiful. And it is indeed a magnificent, beautiful creature. ما هذا? What is this? هذا ديك. هذا ديك. This is a rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. من هذا, pointing to this guy up front there. هذا مدرس. هذا مدرس. This is a teacher. مدرس means teacher. By the way, the teacher is writing on the board and he wrote there الدرس الأول, lesson 1. من يرد الله به خيرا يفقهه. He's actually writing the ha for يفقهه. This is part of a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever Allah wishes for him good, He makes him comprehend the deen, which appears to be maybe the first lesson in fiqh. أهذا قميص? Is this a shirt? Pointing to this here. And the answer is لا هذا منديل. منديل, handkerchief. تمرين, another lesson. Exercise. اقرأ واكتب. Read and write. So you should read and write all of these, and that would be a good exercise for you. I will just read them quickly. ما هذا؟ هذا قلم. هذا كلب. من هذا؟ هذا طبيب. هذا جمل. أهذا كلب؟ لا، هذا قط. أهذا ديك؟ نعم. أهذا حصان؟ لا، هذا حمار. هذا منديل. أهذا ولد؟ نعم. من هذا؟ هذا رجل.